B. Jordan.
What's up? It's your boy Seti B. We back here live on my YouTube channel, Live Positive TV. Make sure you hit a like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share it. Make sure you tell the people what we're going to talk about here. So in today's episode, we're going to jump quick right into it. The funny thing is a lot of people don't know that I play basketball. And one way people want to know is how did you be able to play Division I basketball and how did you be able to go overseas? Well, the process for me when I went to play basketball, like most kids, it started for me when I was a young age. And I didn't start basketball until I was like 12 years old. And I remember my middle school coach told me, he said, hey, you want to go to college, then you need to get a scholarship. And you can get a scholarship playing basketball where your mama doesn't have to pay for it. And me growing up in a single parent household, I was like, yeah. Because my mama said, when you graduate high school, either you're going to go to the military or you got to go to work. And I didn't want to go to the military because I don't feel like having people yelling at me to do push-ups and all that stuff. No, that's not taking shots at the people in the military because I know it's more than just doing that. And I appreciate everything that you guys do. Maybe I would have done some working, but I wanted to go to college because that's what everybody in America thinks to do is to go to America, to go to college. So as I started playing, as I getting good, and once I got to high school, funny story is what really helped me was meeting Coach K, and I've talked about him before. Coach K came to see me at some tournament that was going on in Marietta. Can't remember the name of the school I was at, but I was at a tournament, and the funny thing is I only scored 4 points in this game. I scored 2 points, a dunk in the beginning of the game, and then overtime winning 2 points to win the game. Coach K saw me, and he'll tell you when he first saw me play, he thought I was terrible because I only had 4 points. Out of the whole game, I only had 4 points. What ended up happening is he contacted me and he said, hey, you should come play AAU ball with me. And if you don't know AAU ball, that's basically travel ball where you travel around and play against different teams you gather up like the best players in your area and you play against people from other areas. And if you're good enough, you can play against people in other states and all different things. So I met him. He put me on with the team, Marietta Heat. We were called Marietta Heat, and then we turned into something else. We start playing, and he starts putting me in different tournaments, and I started getting different recognition from different teams, and eventually I got scholarships offers, and I weighed my options, and I end up going to Charleston University. Also, I played in some elite camps. I played in this one called the Future Elite Camp that was big, and it end up making me be one of the top 150 best players in the whole nation. I remember when I was 109 best player in America, and I remember a lot of people were like, why are you bragging about that? That's nothing. You're top 150. That's nothing. And people forget that I'm the top 150 of 50 states, over 1 million kids. I'm top 150. I was 109 at the time. And in Georgia, I think I was ranked maybe like 28th or something like that. But that's mainly because I didn't really have the confidence in myself like I do now. I wish I had the confidence in myself. And I probably would have been a way different player and stuff like that. So ended up going to college, became a decent player in college, won 2 championships. I have 2 beautiful rings. I went and traveled all around the world playing against different people, playing against some NBA players like Solomon Hill, Corey Jefferson, Isaiah Austin, some other people that probably went more like overseas. I actually played against the point guard for the Houston, Frank Van Fleet, and some other great players. But I went out there and compete, and I was a role player, accepted my role. I played with 2 All-American guards, and one thing like my mom always told me was not what you know, but who you know. And I used to play pickup with this dude named Patrick, and he had some connects with some people, and he ended up putting me on with this guy named Nikola Stanic, and he was a Serbian guy that had his connections. And I talked to him, got some film, and ended up getting my job opportunity to go play in Montenegro. I didn't play for much money, but I was in my 5th year of school because I was a terrible student. Still haven't graduated. Sorry, Coach Raid. And yeah. And I knew that I just needed to get my foot in the door. You know, a lot of times you just need to get your foot in the door and you can just go and you can take off. And that's what I did. I got my foot in the door and went to Montenegro. I hated it so much because my teammates didn't really, bond with me. The level of play was, it was okay. Nobody really knew English. Like, it was so like far behind. It seemed like it was so industrial in Montenegro. The people were nice, met some great people, met some great friends. Not to discredit Montenegro, but it was, just my first time going to Europe, and I expected something and I got something else. And that's just part of life and everything like that. So yeah, basically the process of just, being recruited is you have to put the work in, put the work in, and you also got to get yourself in front of better competition. A lot of us are used to being the big fish in a little pond. You are the best person in your hometown. You're the best person in your area where you're from, and you dominate. Everybody knows who you are. Everybody's giving you love. But there's always somebody out there that's working harder than you and that's actually better than you. And you have to be able to compete and show your talents and show that you belong somewhere else, That's why they always say you got to get used to being uncomfortable, It's, for example, I like coaching, I do coaching, and some of the kids, most people are right-handed. And the kids always say, I can't go left, can't go left. I can say, yeah, you can't go left because you never worked on it. If you work on it, then you'll be able to do it and you get comfortable. So yeah, I remember I had a lot of friends that were upset with me when I went and played with the Marietta team. And even some of my friends, they didn't want to talk to me, but I knew I had to do what was best for me at the time. I was like, I got to do what's best for me. I got to be able to go and show that I belong somewhere else. I got tired of being the best player in my area, because even when my senior year, my last year of high school, I didn't even win player of the year when I thought I should have. I knew I was the best player in the county, but my team wasn't that great. We weren't even that bad. That's the funny thing, is people thought we were so bad, but we weren't that bad. We were above 500. We just couldn't get it to the playoffs, but it is what it is. So yeah, going to all those different tournaments, like I went down to Orlando and played in the Milk House, and having all those different college coaches, see me and interested in me, and going to all those rivals, top 150 camps where I'm playing against the best kids in Georgia was, a real eye opener, because at first I was thinking to myself, like, I don't even know if I'm that good. And, I'm looking at these other kids and I'm like, dang, like, they can do this, they can do that. I can't do that. Like, I really need to work on my game. I really need to improve. But it also got me some confidence, because there was that one player that everybody was talking about, and I held on my own and I was able to compete. And sometimes I even did better some of those players, I remember when I really got onto the map and became the top 150, there's a video of it on YouTube where my coach was yelling at me. Coach K was like, Adidas here, Nike's here. You ain't doing nothing. You out here playing soft. You out here playing weak. Man, I got the ball on an offensive rebound or something, and I just went down the court. Didn't care who was in the way. Went up, boom, boom, and I dunked on this kid. And I remember everybody was like, oh, that's that big country boy from Cherokee County. That's that big country boy from Cherokee County. And, that really like put me on the map, and going to my first offer was Tennessee Tech. And Tennessee Tech, I went and showed off my athleticism, showed off some basketball IQ, showed off my motor, and you know, that really got me going. I kind of got the big head, thought I was better than what I was, but it, you know, it was nice, and definitely going playing in the Peach Jam, which is a big tournament in South Carolina. That really helped me out a lot. And playing in Arkansas at, this one big tournament, can't really remember the name of it, at Little Rock, University or something like that. That was a big eye opener. Like, man, just to be, you know, able to go from being pretty a nobody to somebody now, like it was really nice for me. And yeah, so I'm very grateful for all the opportunities I got, and I'm just blessed to be able to still be playing, you know. And you know, I took the same thing that I did in high school to being a professional, like, you know, being the best player I can, being a good teammate, being that energy guy, just being myself and working on my game and trying to be the best version of myself, playing with confidence and stuff like that. Sometimes I wish I had worked on my game a little bit more when I was younger, but you know, I was finding other things that I was more interested in doing and stuff like that. You know, sometimes I wish I wouldn't just be okay with just being average. You know, sometimes I wish I would had put myself to be more, you know, pushing the limits and really trying to see, because everybody always sees, you know, the talent that I have. Because I will say I'm very talented in what I do, and I know that I probably could reach another gear, but I can feel my body wearing down. I can feel my mind kind of wearing down, but I still have that competitive edge to like keep going. You know, the goal is to play, I said at least 35, but you know, that's in 2 years, maybe 38, maybe close to 40. Cause here in Iceland, it's a lot easier to play at an older age. A lot of people do it if I take care of myself, but you know, only time can tell if I'll do it or not. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about, just basically how the whole process of being recruited from high school to college and from college to pros. You know, there's different ways of getting recruited. That's the only way I know. I know there's other ways of being recruited. But yeah, you know, just do your research and you can figure it out if you're trying to do that. But again, guys, please drop comments, drop down stuff on my Instagram, my TikToks or whatever, and let me know what you want to hear from me. You know, I was looking at a video that was saying like, you got to pick a niche. You can't be too broad. So I'm in between of, should I talk about myself in life? Should I talk about just basketball? Should I talk about living in Iceland? Should I talk about this? Should I talk about that? So much to talk about that I have in my head, but I know that I can't talk about everything until maybe I get to a bigger platform, but only time could tell. So we shall wait and we shall see. But, again, please go like, subscribe, share. Please, as always, live life to the fullest with a smile on. It's your boy, Seti B. Thank you for watching Live Positive TV. Peace, love, and chicken grease. I'm out.